Hello everyone, here at OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the eElement EY0050. Despite the kind of generic name, this is cool because it's the cheapest mechanical keyboard that you can find on the market, or at least that's the claim, for under $30, sometimes even lower when it's on sale. It still has a backlit LED design, so it lights up in the dark, which is pretty cool. It's a full-size keyboard, plugs in using USB, and if you're not familiar, eElement does specialize in mechanical keyboards, so they have a fair amount of experience. It comes in a few different colors as well, and this is just a regular blue switch. One reason that I'm particularly excited is because I also got two types of different keycaps to try out. That was bundled together, and also leave some links down below. And they sell for about $10 individually, so if you want to really customize the look of the keyboard, you can do that as well. Definitely very simple packaging. This is what the back of the box looks like, the keyboard, and we have some basic features printed as well. 15 million clicks for the longevity of the keyboard. So taking a look at the design and build of the keyboard first, initial impressions is that this is a very lightweight keyboard, and that's because it's made completely out of plastic. So the base plate here is made completely out of plastic. It's polycarbonate, as you can see here, and the same thing goes with the back. It's completely plastic. So that's a point of differentiation with some of the more expensive eElement and other mechanical keyboards on the market. You have some metal accents and metal plates, which makes it a bit more durable, but on this, really, it's the main objective is to make the cost as cheap as possible, but still giving you real authentic mechanical keys. So size-wise, this is a full-size keyboard that gives you a dedicated numpad on the edge for number processing, so it's a little larger than a shrunken down compact keyboard, which we have here. This is also by eElement, but this is a version that you can tell has a metal base plate and sells for about $5 to $10 more, and again has a slightly more premium build, but we have the same keycaps underneath. So this is what the keyboard looks like when you have a little bit of background lighting in the room. It's not too dark, it's also not too bright. The LEDs still seem to be pretty visible, and we have a gentle kind of breathing overall transition that's going on right now in a rainbow color. We're also able to change the brightness by tapping on function up. So this is the brightest setting. You can tell the LEDs are blinking here, and I can tap on minus to make it a lot dimmer, or to turn it completely off if you're just typing in broad daylight. So again, if we turn it up and then turn down the lights here, you can see it a little bit more easily. Otherwise, I can also tap on function left and right to change the direction of the movement. So I can make the lights start to flow over from the right to the left, as you can see here, or I can tap on right to make the lights flow from right to left. So the fact that you can customize this is a new feature. Function plus delete will change 4 different lighting effects. So right now we're on this one. If we tap on delete once more, it goes into kind of a trail of light. Tapping on once more, and it goes into a slowly kind of bobbling light over the different letters. And then tapping on delete once more, we go over into a kind of glinting effect. And then function and insert will take us into kind of this fully lit mode, normal on, and then tapping on it again goes into kind of a breathing, but still always on. So it's interesting how we have different effects scattered on different buttons. Usually on a mechanical keyboard, we just tap on function and insert or delete repeatedly to go through 10 or 6 modes. On this, it's all scattered through different commands, which takes a little bit of time to get used to. But it gives you quicker control if you're just trying to toggle often between specific types of lighting effects. So the next one is function plus end. And that will take us into this customized lighting mode for the arrow keys, A, S, D, W, and escape, just for gamers. So you're always going to be using these triggers when gaming. And we can also customize the lights in this mode. So tapping on function and again, and we see this blinking, it means it's recording what keys we want to be turned on. I can tap on it again to turn it off, or tap on it once to turn it back on. Now you can tell that the individual keys themselves only have one LED color. So the top row here is always going to be red, the next row here is always going to be orange, and then green, blue, purple, and then kind of a lighter shade of pink. So you can't actually change the color of each individual key, but you can control which individual buttons light up. And let's say I'm satisfied with this layout, I can tap on function end, and it's going to save that. So next time that whenever I go back into function end, it remembers this particular configuration. Function and home will go into additional kind of keys. So these are reactive mode. So this is called hurricane. So it's basically lighting up as you tap on a key here, which is a pretty cool ripple effect. And then tap on it once more to do the same thing, but it fades away after a few seconds. And we have a row of light that dissipates outwards as I'm typing on specific keys, as you can see here. So another version of a reactive function plus home again, and the same thing, but now a ring of light appears briefly instead of only one light being turned on. And we can also tap on function page up and page down. So function page up goes into another preset animation where it's always going to do this. So kind of in this ring effect, and then function page up again. So another transition effect, this time in a sine wave or a cosine wave. Function up again. This is a slightly slower randomized pattern. Function once more, and this is kind of the breathing or always on mode that I was talking about. And we can go and change it to function page down to change the modes as well. So I can tap on this a few times, and that will transition into some other modes as well. So you do get quite a few different effects on here, but they're all scattered on different keys and commands, so you have to master some of these shortcuts to remember what is what. And now for a very quick typing test, just showing you guys what it sounds like as you're typing away. So you can hear that it's very tactile in terms of the overall sensation. It feels pretty similar to other BlueSwitch keyboards that we've reviewed recently. It's not quite Cherry MX BlueSwitches, but gets very close. I think that this audible sensation, along with the physical one of pressing down on a mechanical keyboard, which is definitely more noticeable than on a membrane keyboard, will allow you to get faster rates in terms of typing speeds and efficiencies. So that's one of the reasons in general why people who do a lot of essay writing, like college students or programmers, will really enjoy a mechanical keyboard. It also will last you longer than membrane keyboards, which are harder to replace. So overall, the experience actually feels pretty good. The layout is comfortable. It's not that different from other element keyboards that we've seen. The only difference, again, really is just the base plate is made out of plastic now. The size of the keycaps in terms of the distance and the sensation of the switches is exactly the same. Blue switches, of course, are best suited for private use if you're in your own room, as opposed to when you're in a library or in a public place, because it does have a bit of noise, as you can hear, which may disturb others around you. Alright, so now for the part that I've been waiting for is trying out these pretty awesome key switches, customized ones. So let's go with this metallic one first. Everything is printed in Chinese, it seems like. And hopefully it still allows the keys to be semi-translucent, so we can still see the LED lights. That would be pretty cool. First, jump cut. So after about 10 minutes of pulling on the keycaps and switching out some of them, I have a design that I kind of like. So basically I have the black keys for the regular keys still, and then everything around it I'm going to surround with the kind of whitish metallic color. So you can tell that this is what the blue switch looks like underneath. And something I want to really point out here is that there's a difference with the texture of these keycaps. The original one has more of a untreated finish, which has a slightly more kind of slippery overall surface, but it feels like regular plastic, like there's nothing coated or painted on. With this, it feels like there's a layer of something that is a bit more soft, so it feels like a soft touch rubber in a way. So if you have a kind of a OnePlus Sandstone, if you have a soft touch rubber case for your phone, you kind of know what the texture is like. So as you can see here, I still feel that the black keys have a little bit better tendency to pass through the light. This still works well enough if you're in a darkened environment, but you can tell how the black keys here just seem to make the glow a little bit more apparent, whereas these, they kind of fade out from the edges a little bit more, and it's a little harder to see when you are in broad daylight. And now what I've been waiting for, it's going to be the blue and purple / pinkish one, which I'm just going to fit all the keys and come back with another quick jump cut. So we are in the halfway point of pulling out all the keys before I pop them out and switch them with the new one. I just have a very quick observation that I want to make. So comparing the new keycaps here with the old ones, the biggest difference is going to be kind of the thickness of the new keycaps. The texture of the new keys are also different. It's not like the soft touch rubber that we got with the metallic silver, but it's closer to the original. It seems like it's less treated. It's more of a firmer, traditional plastic without any soft touch feel. Jump cut, and now we can tell the finished keyboard again looks very distinctive, and there's again that slight difference with the height with the keys here, which are purple and blue, versus the metal-like keys. You can tell the height difference there from the side, that again these are definitely a little bit taller. So I would probably recommend switching out these keys entirely if you're always typing to prevent accidental hitting, unless you want to leave them for numbers or specific keys that you're always going to be accessing anyways. So that's the effect of the keys. I would say it's definitely more visible than the metal keys or the gray ones. You can tell that it's a lot easier to see with this white color. It's actually about the same as the black one. Perhaps this is the most visible one yet, so that's definitely appreciated. And it's kind of nice as well because the bottom row here, like I said, is pink in color, and it matches some of the pink keys that you have going on here, which adds a little bit of consistency to the coloring theme. Definitely a very clean overall look and vibe. Again, the typing experience feels the same as always, so it still is very responsive. The travel and feedback is about the same. The gray ones does have a slightly deeper travel just because the keys are so high, but overall the clickiness is again the same because the switches haven't been changed. So there we have it. That's the least expensive mechanical keyboard on the market by eLement, and it's really not bad. It has a great overall sensation when you're typing on it. It has all the advantages of a mechanical keyboard. The switches feel excellent. The only downside is you are getting a plastic base, which is more lightweight, and you're also getting a non-removable USB cable. Everything else still works really well. It's recognized by any Windows, Mac, Chromebook that you plug it into, and it's compatible, of course, with any keys that you may want to buy to make it look a little fancier, just because they are standard sized keys, and you also get the numpad on the side. So if you want to get something inexpensive, something budget oriented, or maybe as a quick replacement, this is definitely something to consider. Again, it's amazing how the pricing of mechanical keyboards have come down so much over the past year and a half, from being very expensive to now being, again, under $30. I mean, $20 for something like this. It's now cheaper than just a regular membrane keyboard, and it has so many more advantages. So be sure to check out more details in the links down below, and also for the keycaps that you can consider picking up. For now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.